We're back for another round of auditions. It's the Baddies East Auditions after show right here only on the Damien After Dark YouTube channel. Are you ready at home? Are y'all ready to talk about this and break it on down? I hope so. I missed y'all, and you better believe we're going to talk about it all. Okay, welcome back to Damien After Dark. If you're new here or you have not hit that subscribe button, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button below and get locked into all things Damien After Dark when I post, when I go live, whatever the case may be. You just never know, okay? Also, if you have not supported the channel, I would appreciate the support. You can do so by leaving a super chat, super thanks, or my Cash App info is in the description below. It's also free to support the channel. All you gotta do is click that thumbs up button right below this video and like this video, and I will love you forever, okay, boo? Last but not least, join the conversation. I want to hear from you on what you thought about the Baddies East auditions, okay? I'm so excited, and we're going to get all the way into it. Okay, sorry, I had a phone call come through. Welcome back. I'm so happy to see y'all. I'm so glad to be back. I just came back from Nashville. I was in Nashville for the weekend. For my 30th birthday, I turned 30 on Saturday, June the 17th. I'm a Gemini baby. Shout out to all my Geminis out there. And yeah, I had a good time. I took some footage while I was in Nashville, so I'm thinking about doing a vlog just to try to do something different with my channel and give you guys a little inside look of my personal life. I've got a lot of trips and stuff planned this summer, so my plan is to do some vlogging and show you guys some of that if you're interested in that. So, let's get into the show. And before we get into the show, could y'all imagine if Zeus, when they chose the cast of Baddies East, that they gave us an entire fresh new cast and every girl was chosen from the auditions? Wouldn't that be cool if they don't even have to be chosen from the auditions, but wouldn't it be nice if we just get a fresh face of casts of people that we don't know? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see Ruby Rose on Baddies East. I don't want to see Tokyo Tony on Baddies East. I don't want to see Black China. I don't want to see Mariah Lynn. Anybody that's been on Love and Hip Hop, that's been an influencer, that's been on reality TV before, please keep them. We don't want to see them. We want to see some fresh faces. Maybe, fingers crossed, Zeus will listen to us and give us what we want. What about you? Do y'all want to see fresh faces this coming season? Or do y'all like what Zeus has been doing with Baddies and bringing on familiar faces like they have in the past with Tommy, Lee, and the Bad Girls, and, y'all know what I'm saying. Now, we see that Krishan is there at the auditions as a judge. We see that Black China is there, or should I say Angela White, because Black China no longer is going by Black China. She's now going by her government name, if you didn't know, which is Angela White, and she's trying to turn over a new leaf, kind of get away from this negative, bad girl fighting, crazy image, and kind of leaning towards a more positive image. Now, I don't think... My thing is, if Angela, Black China, whatever, if you're wanting to change your image and be shown in a more positive light, why are you doing Baddies? And I get that she's just doing the auditions and she's not really doing the show, but if I was her publicist, if I was her manager or whatever, I would tell her, I don't think this will be a good look for you. It doesn't really align with what you're trying to do. You're trying to do this metamorphosis in your life and be known as, something that you're trying to be known as the opposite of what you've been known for in your entire career. I just didn't think Baddies was a good look, but hey, it's a check, okay? It's hard out here for everybody right now. Milk is $10 a gallon. Eggs is $25 a crate. Gas is $16 a gallon. I get it. It's expensive. So maybe she did the show because she needs the check. Let's face it. What else is Black China doing that's making her money? I'm not being shady. I'm just being real. Like, it's not like she's on a TV show where she's getting a recurring check or anything. So I'm just curious. I mean, is she living off child support? And if she is, no shade. Get your money. Get your money. I don't blame her. Did anybody notice how Krishan, was she pregnant at the auditions? We know she's pregnant now. She's showing everywhere she goes. We see her out smoking blunts at the club, pregnant and all. No shade, do you think? But I listen. Here at the auditions, I think she was pregnant there too, because we see a little bit of belly. Not much belly, but there was a little bit of belly there. Now, the host, Janisha, asked Krishan, what advice would you give for the girls who are auditioning today? And Krishan says, here's how you get on Baddies. The first girl to slap Natalie gets on the show. Now, y'all know Krishan ain't really that fond of Natalie. I think they have a love-hate relationship. I think Krishan can just see through Natalie. She sees through the fake Hollywood bullshit, because Natalie will be real chummy to your face. But if that means stabbing you in the back to close a deal, Natalie gonna do it. And we know that. That ain't no tea. We know that. You know, we've been watching Natalie for over 10 years. We know how she rolls. Now, when the girls come in, they first go in and audition with the round one judges. Now, the round one judges are the first room that the girls go into. That's like the first round, you know, preliminary trials, and then you move on to round two, to where you see Natalie and the bigger judges, you know, and then potentially after that, if you're chosen, you move on to where you might get a call. You wait on Zeus to call you if they want you, right? Now, in the first judges room, we've got girls from last season who are judging. Also back from last season that was judging is Rolly and Scotty. They are the returning judges, but we also have Biggie, Low London, and Kat, who is here as a new judge. So 5 judges total in the first round: Biggie, Scotty, Rolly, Low London, and Kat. And what was Biggie wearing? Lord, I'm like, Biggie, baby, those shoes, that just wasn't cute to me. Like, I know opinions are like assholes, and fashion is subjective. Everybody's going to have a different opinion when it comes to fashion, but I just wasn't feeling those boots. It was, sometimes, in my opinion, and I say this with all my gaudy jewelry on, when I say this, y'all are going to be like, okay, whatever. In my opinion, less is more. Not always, but most of the time, less is more. You don't need a lot of rah-rah to stand out. Now, they haven't even started the auditions. They ain't even started the auditions, and girls are fighting like crazy. Now, keep in mind, I want y'all to know, I'm not 100% sure about where this audition was, but I'm pretty sure, because based off of how it looked, they hold these auditions in like conference rooms at hotels. You know, when you go to the W Hotel, or you go to the, I don't know, Four Seasons, wherever you stay, hell, Days Inn, you know how they will have like a conference room, a banquet room, like a room that you can rent if you want to throw a party in there, have a conference, have a meeting, whatever whatever you want. You can go to these hotels and you can rent these rooms to hold your event. So that's what Zeus is doing. When I worked on Love and Marriage Huntsville, we would rent a conference room at the Westin Hotel or the Element, one of the two. We would rent a conference room, and that's where we would have the green screen confessionals. You know, in reality shows where you have the confessionals and they're talking, we would film those in a conference room. So I'm pretty sure that's where Zeus is having these auditions. That's what it looks like to me. And I just want to know, like, how do these auditions never get shut down? There's always screaming. I mean, obnoxious screaming to the top of their lungs. People screaming, yelling, fighting, pulling hair all over the place. Girls with their pussy hanging out, ass cheeks hanging out, no, one shoe on, one shoe off, wig hanging off your head, earrings dangling off your ear if somebody done pulled them. I mean, it's just a hot mess. And Zeus has to be paying big bucks to allow this shit to go on, because not only are they fighting and acting crazy at these auditions every single season, did y'all see how Scotty just fired a joint up at the table? Like, let's go. You know what I'm like? Scotty, like, she lit one up right at the judges table. I'm like, how y'all get away with that? 'Cause I know somebody gonna smell that worked there. You know how people be. And then somebody gonna be like, who's smoking? Who's smoking in here? Kick them out of here. Kick them. That tells me that Zeus had to pay top dollar. Or maybe somebody let them know when they booked the space. Hey, this is going to be rowdy as fuck. We just want y'all to know, you know. Another thing I want to point out. This, in my opinion, this is the best that Scotty has looked. I really like that hair that she had. The long blonde with like the blue streak in it. I really like that hair. Every look that Scotty has had has always been a miss, in my opinion. It's been a miss. But this look, I love it, Scotty. 10s across the board. Keep that look. Whoever made this wig, whoever did this look for you, keep them around. I like it. It's not too much. It's not too crazy. But it's cute. You know, it's cute. Now, I don't know about y'all, but just like last season's auditions with Baddies West, these auditions here with Baddies East seemed like it was just so easy to get a ticket. I mean, you could have stuck your finger right up your ass and they would have gave you a ticket to go to the next round. Like, all you needed was a clever, like you could have been in line waiting for the auditions and just be thinking of something clever to say, like a clever line to spit out, and they would have gave you a ticket. Like, seriously. Now, let's talk about some of the people who auditioned. One of the girls was Ness Draco. Let's talk about Ness Draco. Ness Draco. Ness Draco is an example of what not to do when auditioning for a show or auditioning for something like this. If you want to be on TV, if you ever think about auditioning for Baddies or Bad Boys or any of this stuff, take notes here from Ness Draco. Do not do what she did, okay? Y'all got to stop doing what you think the judges want to see and hear. Get out of your head and stop thinking, what do they want to see? Oh, I'll go in here and do the splits and show my ass crack on a handstand. That's what I'll do. Stop doing that. Be you. If you be you and be authentic, the judges will see, people will see that a lot quicker than they will see, I'm a baddie because I get to the bag and I'm a chiropractor full time. Like, come on now. Now, Ness Draco says she's a baddie because, well, they asked her, why do they call you Ness Draco? And why are you a baddie? Because I got them hands and I'll shoot a bitch in a heartbeat. They were like, next. And that's my thing. It's like, girl, really? This is Baddies. This is Bad Girls Club, bitch. This ain't the first 48. The fuck? Like, what do you look like going into an audition room talking about, I'll shoot a bitch up? That's where you failed. Because first of all, you went in there telling them what you thought they wanted to hear. Oh, she's a bad bitch because she'll shoot a bitch down. She'll shoot a bitch in a heartbeat. Oh, give her a ticket. She's a baddie. Wrong. Now, see, you went in there trying to be cool, knowing good and damn well you won't shoot nobody. You probably a scary asshole, but you thought that was going to be cute and get you a ticket. Wrong. Now look where you at. Back where you started. Looking foolish and crazy as hell. Let's talk about the real Big Mama. Y'all know who the real Big Mamas was? She was the one that came in and did the splits right off the bat. First one, because a few of them did the splits, which that was starting to get old. Like, is this all we got is splits? Like, Big Mama's was the one that came in and did the splits right off the bat. Now, was she trans? Was Big Mama transgender? I'm just wondering. No shade. I don't care. It don't make a difference. But we haven't had a trans girl on Baddies since Sydney Starr. And to be honest, I wouldn't mind having another trans girl on Baddies. I know that there are conflicting opinions and it can be controversial. And some people think, oh, why do we have these biological men who are dressed as women with these other females, fighting these other females? Listen, we didn't really see Sydney fight females that much. I think we saw her get into it with what? Was it Seven or Sarah or something? I don't know. But I would like to see another trans girl just so we could see another representation of another trans girl, because I think a lot of people have the misconception that all trans girls are, you know, sex workers, hot messes like Sydney Star, all over the place, messy, and I don't think that's the case. I know that's not the case. I know that there are some really cool, down-to-earth, chill-ass trans girls out there, and I would like to see one on the show, and maybe they'll find one. Who knows? But Miss Mamas, or Big Mamas, the real Big Mamas, I don't think she was it. Even though they gave her a ticket, I'm not feeling the real Big Mamas. What about y'all? It ain't got nothing to do with her being trans. It wasn't given what was supposed to be given. Now, as the auditions proceed, and, you know, as things move along, I can start to see why. If y'all remember, before this came out, before the auditions aired, there was some footage that leaked from the auditions, and we saw Rolly going the fuck off on Biggie because Biggie was just giving tickets away. Now, I see why Rolly got upset with Biggie at first, because she was handing tickets to literally, like, one girl came in and said that she spoke Dominican. I'm Dominican, I speak Dominican, or whatever she said. And Biggie just handed her a ticket. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, there was one girl who even said, you know, I'm an advocate for domestic violence. And Biggie was like, oh, here you go. I went through domestic violence. Here's a ticket. Here's a ticket. And, like, no, Biggie, that's not how it works. Y'all, like, if we're going to find true talent, if we're going to find girls who are really good for this show, who are really good for TV and have that raw personality that's not forced, we got to weed out some of these girls and stop handing everybody a ticket. Okay? Now, we're going to get into in a minute. I didn't agree with how Biggie, or how Rolly handled Biggie, which we'll talk about that in a second. But all I got to say is, if you speak Dominican, you're going to get a ticket to the next round. Pretty much. Now, whose mama showed up to the Baddies East auditions? If y'all don't come get y'all's mama off this fucking show. Let's talk about Tanzania. Do y'all remember Tanzania? She was the 55-year-old woman who came in there and dropped it low and busted it wide open in front of everybody, okay? When I saw Tanzania walk up on the scene, I thought, what the hell is Tokyo Toni doing auditioning for the show? I thought she was a judge. Listen, I'm not an age shamer. I'm not. Literally, I've always connected with people who are older than me. I've always gotten along with people who are older than me. I was in my 20s and had friends who were in their 40s and in their 50s. Had coworkers who were in their 40s, 50s, and 60s that I got along with better than I did 20-year-olds. I embraced getting older. I was excited to turn 30. Like, I'm not an ageist. I don't age shame. But what business does a 55-year-old woman have doing fighting with these girls who are in their 20s and 30s on a bus? I just don't see how she would fit into. Like, you're somebody's mother, possibly grandmother, out here wanting to be fighting and in the clubs acting a fool. It's just not a good look. It's really not. Again, I'm not age shaming. However, my mom is in her 50s, okay? My mother's 54, around the same age as Tanzania here. I would die if I turned on the television and my mother was up there in a dress and some fucking thigh-high boots, dropping it low, busting it wide open for the whole world to see. I would be so embarrassed. I would be so like, if you have TV aspirations, that's a different story. I get it. You're never too old to follow your dreams, to chase your dreams. If you want to be on TV and you're 70 years old, you can do it. There's a doorway, a pathway out there for everybody to get it, to get the bag. There is. But baby girl, I don't think Baddies is the show for you. I really don't. Now, one of the girls asked her, Rolly said, what you gonna do if one of these young bitches roll up on you? And Tanzania said, oh, you better Google me and check my charges. She said, you better Google me and check my charges, bitch. The fuck? Why are we rewarding this bad behavior? Like, why do they think this shit is cool? Like, you got this many charges, you've been arrested this many times, and that's what make you a baddie? Hell no. If being a baddie means going to jail and get arrested, I'm the opposite of a baddie. Because, baby, jail ain't fun. I don't like jail. I don't like paying them fines. I don't like that cold cell. I don't like them oversized, musty jumpsuits they give you. I don't want to spread my ass cheeks open for nobody but my man. I ain't trying to spread my cheeks and cough for nobody. No. No. Now, another girl who auditioned, do y'all remember Jess with the Mess? Do y'all believe Jess with the Mess? That's the question. Now, she's the girl who came up and they asked her, name 4 people that you had sex with or take a shot. And she immediately was like, Snoop. She named off some people, but the first person she named off was Snoop. And I'm like, Snoop? Not Snoop, not D to the double O-G. Or not D to the O to the double G. What does he say? Snoop, D to the O to the double G. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Not Snoop Dogg. The girls ate it up and gave her a ticket. The girls ate it up and gave her... So because she fucked Snoop Dogg, that makes her a baddie? Now, it may not have been Snoop Dogg. It may have been somebody that she just called Snoop. But I think the judges took it as Snoop Dogg when she said Snoop out her mouth. The standards are really low to get a ticket. I mean, I'm fucking an NFL football player. Do I deserve a ticket to be on Bad Boys? I mean, shit. Come on now. Is that just me? Y'all let me know if it's just me. If I'm being corny over here. Call me out. I know y'all will. I just miss the days when girls would... I miss the days when girls would just send in a casting tape, videoing themselves, showing who they are, showing their personality. You know, like, the auditions just seem like the Hunger Games. It's like Battle of the Thirst Buckets. Who's the thirstiest? You get a ticket. Oh, you're thirsty? You get a ticket. Oh, you showing your pussy? You get a ticket. Oh, your booty hole's leaking? You get a ticket. Like, what? No. Can we bring back, like, the old days of casting? Now, speaking of leaking, let's get into Miss Leaky. Let's get into Miss Leaky. Because, child, one girl walks up, and all she has to offer is bending over, spreading her ass cheeks, and shaking it. And when she does, something starts leaking. And I'm just like, what the fuck am I watching? So last year, we had, on Baddies West auditions, we had Nina the Piercer, who turned around and shaked her ass, and her tampon was hanging out of her pussy. This season, we got whoever this girl is up here doing the same thing, shaking her ass, but she's leaking. Now, see, I thought I was mean sitting up here watching this, thinking, oh my God. I was sitting here thinking, y'all, like, Damien, stop being mean. But I was like, oh my God. If I was one of these judges and all these random girls who have been standing in line for hours in the hot sun just to do this audition, and they coming up here and they shaking their ass, and we talking like 3 feet from the judges. Y'all ain't even 10, 15 feet back. Y'all ain't even 5 feet back. 3 feet back. Popping, locking, dropping, shaking ass. All I could think was, I know that a whiff of tilapia is going by. I know that they swooshing coochie in the air, and you bound to smell something. or see something leak. You bound to. Like, my thing would be, okay, and they kept saying this in the auditions, scoot back. Because all the girls would, like, come right up to the table in your face, just like this right here. Scoot back. I ain't trying to smell yesterday's fish fry. No shade. No shade. No shade. Listen, ladies, I know a lot of my viewers are female, so let's be real right quick. Let's get real quick. Because before y'all get mad at me, listen. We are humans. We are human beings. We all have bodily fluids. Things happen. Okay? Women have menstrual cycles. They have periods. Sometimes you have tampons hanging out. Sometimes you leak. It happens. I'm not shaming that. However, ladies and gentlemen, hell, because I know gentlemen be leaking too. Booty hole be so busted wide, loose, and open that y'all be leaking too. Take care of yourselves, okay? Like, nobody's perfect. I'm not shaming. But when you go out in public like this, especially if you're going to be on camera, keep yourself buttoned up. Keep yourself looking good, together, polished, smelling good, poised, organized. Keep, believe it or not, I know it sounds shallow, but what you look like, how you present yourself to the world, how you show up every day, people take that. That's the first thing they see. That means a lot. People are going to judge you off that first interaction of seeing you. And if you come up in here with a dress all the way up to your waist, you pussy leaking and thigh-high boots and a wig halfway hanging off your head, what you think going to happen? They don't want you associating with them and going to the club with them. That's not a baddie. You're not a baddie. You're doing bad. And there's a difference. We had a leak on aisle 5, baby. Clean up on aisle 5. Shoo-wee. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. What did Future say? Ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way. Like, Where we at? We got to wrap this thing up here. We got about 4 minutes left, and I got a lot of notes left. Biggie said, why her pussy leaking? Why her pussy leaking? And then they got the nerve to say, well, if it ain't stinking... What? Bitch, I don't give a fuck if her pussy smell like Baccarat. Don't be up here shaking your lips and cheeks in my face and leaking. Like, what that would have splashed on you or something. Like, Now, also, listen. This is why I love Kat. Kat is going to keep it 100 with you at all motherfucking times. She may not be the rowdiest, most exciting in the room, but one thing Kat going to do is she's going to keep it real with you. And I would have done the same thing as her, because Kat said, listen, everybody listen. She said, when y'all come up here, stop saying the same shit. Everybody here gets to a fucking bag. Everybody here has a job, has to work. I don't want to hear I'm a baddie because I get to the bag and I work here. We all have to do that. I want to know what your personality is like. Why you have a big personality. Why you should be on this show. And she's right. She's 1,000% right. Kat's done this. She's been on Bad Girls Club. She's went through an actual casting process. She knows what these people are looking for. And these girls kept coming up doing and saying the same old things. Like, I'm a baddie because, I'm a chiropractor and I take care of my household. I'm a baddie because I work in HR and, yeah, I pay my bills and I cook and clean. We all do that. The fuck? We all do that. Okay, let's talk about Fat Barbie. Y'all remember who Fat Barbie was? Fat Barbie, the girl who came up and who was really quiet, and they kept saying, speak up, speak up, speak up. Fat Barbie said she represented for the big girls and that she was a baddie because she was a scammer. And they gave her a ticket. We talked about this on Baddies West auditions, about how this scamming shit ain't cute. I'd have called y'all out on that. You're a baddie because you scam? Like, really? You're a baddie because you scam? No, you're lazy as fuck. Go get a job like the rest of us and stop scamming and taking advantage of people like us, me and you, who are out here working every day to make an honest fucking living. And you got bitches like Fat Barbie scamming and running our credit cards. Like, what? I just don't like that they brag about it, okay? I don't like that they brag about it because here's the thing. We're in hard times. Everybody's got a side hustle. Sometimes you got to hustle. Sometimes you got to do illegal shit to get by, and I get that. But let me tell y'all something. My mama told me once this wise quote. And I want y'all to listen, and I want y'all to live by it, okay? Especially if you're doing illegal shit. I was always told this, and I live by it. Self don't tell on self, okay? These new age goons, y'all be on TV and on Snapchat and social media just telling on yourself. I'm a scammer. Look, y'all, look at me. I'm trafficking 2 pounds of cocaine right across state lines. I'm big baller. Before you know it, feds running in your door. Self never tell on self. Don't say I never gave y'all no valuable information. Okay? You're up on TV yelling and telling about what crimes you commit. Where they do that at? Where they do that at? Where do you tell on yourself at? Now, Biggie gives away a ticket to a girl who says that she's an advocate for domestic violence. If you remember, we talked about that earlier. And, you know, Biggie's standing up. She's handing this girl this ticket, and she's like, yes, baby, you know, yes, I went through domestic violence too. I'm so proud of you. Here, I'll give you a ticket. And Rolly wasn't here for it. Now, granted, I do think Biggie was giving away too many tickets unwarranted just for any little reason. Like, just because somebody advocates for domestic violence, yes, that's great for them. That's great. But why should they be on Baddies, a show where y'all are committing domestic violence every fucking episode? You think having somebody who advocates for it on the show is going to be a good idea? Not really. I don't think so. However, I'd be questioning somebody who wanted to come on the show and then said they advocate for domestic violence. It just doesn't seem right to me. But I did not like how Rolly just stood up and cussed Biggie out. And y'all know I've never been a Biggie fan. However, right is right, fair is fair. I don't like bullying. And in that moment, it felt like Rolly was trying to one-up Biggie, bully her. Like, it's like, sit down. I'm the only big girl in this bitch. I've been on the show for 2 or 3 years. I run this shit. That's what kind of energy it was giving me. And I really didn't like it because it felt like in that moment, she was trying to embarrass Biggie in front of all those girls. Like, for what, Rolly? Y'all are there as a group. Y'all were on this show together. You know, you were in these girls' place at one point, just trying to get an opportunity, trying to get a shot. Why are you trying to embarrass Biggie? Pull her aside. Say, Biggie, let me talk to you for a minute. Take her outside and say, look, we can't keep giving everybody tickets, okay? Pull her aside with a producer. Have a conversation. You didn't have to dog her out like that in front of everybody and say, shut the fuck up. Sit the fuck down, bitch. I would have been like, who the fuck are you? Bitch, what? I'm not sitting down. Fuck you. Fuck you, Rolly. No. I got just as much right to be here as you. I don't give a fuck if you are sitting in the middle. My check cashed and cleared too. Yes, Biggie did need to chill a little bit because she did seem dehydrated. But it's like, Rolly, who put you in charge? We have a saying in the South. I don't know about where you're from. But it goes like, Rolly is getting a little too big for her britches, if you know what I'm saying. If you know what I'm saying. Did y'all see the girl who came in with the agenda to fight? She came in with the water bottles. She had the 2 water bottles like this. And she was walking up to the table, and they were like, next. And the security's trying to walk her out. And she takes the bottles, and she just fucking slings them across the table. Did y'all see that? I was like, oh my God, people are crazy as fuck. And then Low London went after her and threw a chair at her. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I don't blame Low. If girl came up and did that to me, I would have chunked a chair at her ass too. I mean, you gotta defend yourself. And it happened so fast. I mean, that would have been my first reaction too, defend myself, you know? So we're at the end of part 1 of the auditions. And I have to say that there was not one girl out of the East Coast auditions. There was not one girl that I would have chosen. That's just me. I didn't see one girl that, because like last season, the one of the people that stood out to me on Baddies West auditions was Razor. If y'all remember, rewind, go back and watch. I said it. I liked Razor. I thought she would have been a good fit for it. And she ended up getting chosen. I got a good eye when it comes to this shit. I did not see one girl that I thought would have had potential for this show. I didn't. Everybody said the same thing, did the same thing, dressed the same, looked the same. I didn't see any individuality, no authenticity, no originality, nothing. And that's no shade to my East Coast girls. But it's just like a lot of these girls that audition look like they just finished a shift off the corner of Hines Street and Highway 72, baby. I'm just saying. I mean, it was another hot mess as usual. Per usual with Zeus, it was another hot mess. I mean, there were literally people coming in and bribing the judges, throwing money in the air just to get a ticket. I mean, if it works, it works. Hey. Now, next week, we see the girls go on to the next round and the next set of judges, which is Natalie Krishan, Tokyo Tony, and I think Ruby Rose is a part of that as well. We see Mariah Lynn from Love and Hip Hop New York auditioning for the show, which has me thinking that Mariah Lynn is going to be a part of Baddies East. I feel like they're going to have her as a cast member. I think Mariah Lynn is one of those pre-picks. Kind of like how I told y'all when it came to Bad Boys Texas and we saw Prince and Chef D audition and they got chosen. Chef D and Prince were pre-picks. They were already chosen. And I think the same is for Mariah Lynn. We're going to see when the show airs, but how much do y'all want to bet at home that Mariah Lynn will probably be on Baddies East? Because I don't think they're going to give us all fresh faces. I don't think we're going to get all new girls. They're going to have some influencers in there. Anyway, that's the end of the Baddies East auditions after show. I want to hear from you. Let me know, what did you think of part 1 of the Baddies East auditions? And who was your favorite girl that auditioned? Do you have a favorite? Who do you think will be chosen to be a part of the cast? Or do you think any of these girls will be chosen? I'd love to hear from you. Who would you choose to advance to the next round? And what do you think of the judges and their performances? I'd love to hear from you. If you have not subscribed yet, go ahead and get locked in to all things Damien After Dark by subscribing below. You can also support the channel by leaving a super thanks. You can also Cash App me. My Cash App information is in the description below. YouTube does take 50% of our earnings when you guys send us super chats, super thanks, tips like that. They do take part of the money. So if you want to send it through Cash App, you can. My cash tag is below. But you can also support the channel completely free. It's free to do so. Click the thumbs up button, and that is your way of supporting the channel. Also, don't forget to join the conversation and let me know what you thought of part 1 of the auditions. Who was your favorite girl that auditioned, and who do you see advancing to the next round? Also, make sure you check out the latest Bad Boys Texas after show only right here on Damien After Dark. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in for yet another episode, and we'll see you next time on Damien After Dark. See ya.